does is stronger. I'm not sure because I've never really played Wanda, but it's definitely like super helpful, and it helps her get a really high healing output. Like, I don't think I've ever had a game where my accuracy has been lower than like 90%. And just using my terror capes to blind enemies that are out of position to ensure that my team gets that pick, or I get it, because I'm stealing picks with that auto aim. But like I was saying, she definitely, even though it's like, oh, she has auto aim, there's still definitely a certain level of skill as a player that you need to have, just like game sense and whatnot, for how to use abilities when. And don't get me started if the other team is starting to counter your ult. Like, obviously the main one's Magneto, or any like Scarlet Witch can take out any healer, right? But so that's the thing I think I struggle with the most, actually, is that to avoid somebody killing you in your ult is to be ready to fade right after your ult is done. So you want to enter your ult in cloak form, right? So you can use that ability. I am so bad at remembering to do that, simply because I'm too like overwhelmed and stressed out in those moments where I need to like time my ult, that doing the animation to cloak form, it rarely crosses my mind, and if I do it, sometimes it's not even been successful. So I know you're supposed to, but you're not going to see a whole lot of that in this video. Most of the time, I'm able to either position myself while my ult's moving in a place where I can't get hit, if the map has some cover for me to use, or like right after my ult's over, I quickly switch and do it. But like I said before, if I'm getting countered pretty hard, I'm just gonna swap. Like, I had a game where I got headshot by a Hawkeye before my ult was even over, because it's really easy to predict where she's gonna land and be standing still, right? I switched immediately. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. Usually I feel like I can actually handle Magnetos pretty well, but if it's somebody like a Hawkeye like that war, there's gonna be the game after this where I ult, and a Namor just happened to headshot me with one of their special abilities, and I just instantly died. And it's just like, it's so frustrating, right? Because in that moment, it's if you mess up tank ult, DPS ult, it's like, ugh, that sucks, right? You mess up your support ult, you get flamed. It's like you just lost us the game because you messed that up, right? And it's true. That's the thing, is it's true, and that's why it's so annoying, because it's a lot of pressure. And so just trying to make sure that you're doing everything correctly and that you don't die in your ult is just especially when people, like, as other supports, like, usually Cloak and Dagger, right? Usually Cloak and Dagger has a lot of healing. She's still killable on her ult if you pull her out of it or something. That's another thing. A lot of people like Bucky, Angela, Groot can pull you out of your ult and kill you too. So you have to be careful about that too. It's not just like a mag ult or a one ult that you have to be careful of. I think Namor might be able to kill you if he ults right on your head and stuff. So it's like all those things that you have to keep track of and whatnot, while making sure your team stays up and that you're not getting attacked. I'm trying a lot harder as support to not just heal bot, especially on somebody like Cloak and Dagger, where it's really easy to just send a bunch of heals into your team and just be like, well, I did a lot of healing, so we didn't lose because of me. But the helping your team, like damage boosting them with the Terror Capes, is so valuable, and it helps them get so much more. It's like, that's one of the reasons I like playing Mantis, right? You damage boost your team, you enable them to get more picks. But obviously, Mantis, you have to be pretty good aim, and she doesn't do a lot of healing output. You definitely can do a lot, but it depends on what the other team is running. If she's getting dived all the time, you only have like one sleep every, I don't know what the cooldown is, like 10 seconds or something. But with Cloak, the Terror Cape is just a great way to enable your team to get picks, and for yourself to get picks too, while still playing a character that has a really good ult and great healing output. I was gonna chew it. We were already well within the video, so I just decided, you know what, let's just do some good old clean whispers for this one. I do like gum chewing, but I know some people don't like it, so, you know, I don't want to do it all the time. So, this game is kind of what happens when, I don't know if I would say I'm getting countered, but the enemy team was not having a hard time killing me, if that makes sense. It seems like most of the game the back line was pretty far back, and then our tanks were pretty far up, and moving up closer with them, we'd get punished. So we had to kind of keep our distance. And then, so I wasn't getting a ton of, like, damage output this game for sure. And I was definitely using my whole kit on just making sure that using my kit on me and my second support, keeping us up, and defending off of dive. I would try to get some terror capes in there, but it was tough. And this map especially, I don't know, it's very open. So they didn't have a Spider-Man on their team, but I think they do swap to them in the second round. I don't know what it is, but for some reason my team and I are really good at convoy maps. I've noticed. For some reason. I don't know if it's because in domination, like for convoy, let's say you have point, and then an enemy starts getting on point, right? That stalls it. That stops it from progressing, right? With domination, if your team has capture point and an enemy touches point, they have to clear all of you off of point in order to recapture it. So if your team just gets, I don't know how the Normor didn't kill us there, to be honest. I think he was too far back, but he knocked both of us down, and I did not have my cape ready for that. Luckily, my Luna popped ult here, so we were able to keep them off. But the Cloak and Dagger ulted. I didn't want to double ult my Luna, so I was trying to give myself some time. And then you can see I ulted, and my Strange even had shield up. But it doesn't show the kill cam in this replay, but the Normor literally just headshotted me, like, luckiest hit I ever seen. I still don't know exactly how it happened, because like I said, I wasn't really low health. I think I maybe even had a bubble up. I was blinded though, but my Strange had a shield up. So I'm like, how did he get that split second headshot on me? I don't know. And then they even swapped to Squirrel Girl, so we were definitely dealing with some nuts in the background. I definitely died to those nuts a few times. It's hard for me to justify using a bubble on myself just because I'm getting pelted by Squirrel Girl acorns, you know? But yeah, I'm just trying to use it to help my tanks since we're a little bit further back. Have them playing it, get that old charge, kind of like what I was talking about earlier. But yeah, I think, what was I saying before position to use my bubble, because like I don't want to just always use my bubble on myself. Sometimes you have to, right? You have to be selfish, right? But I want to try my best to use my fade to reposition myself in a place where I can use my bubble on myself and my teammates, so it's not just on me. So sometimes you'll see me doing that too. I feel like it's kind of just a habit almost. If I start taking damage, just to fade immediately, because like think about if you're getting like headshotted by Hella or something, right? If you put a bubble down when you're already low, she can still headshot you, right? It doesn't heal fast enough. I think they did a rework to her bubble too, where it's like I don't know these numbers. I've never known the numbers of these things. All I know is basically now it, instead of like, it doesn't instantly, I don't know, read the patch notes. I don't know. I've literally been made fun of because I have, oh, look at this Loki that was like trying to flank us for some reason. Our Luna was playing so good this round that, and they're on my team, so I was calming to them, like, can I just leave you with this, to deal with this Loki while I heal the rest of the team? And they're like, yeah, it's fine. And then they killed him. So it worked out, but I was like, I can't believe he's just trying to flank us back here. But when, oh my god, oh yeah, because I have Lord Rocket. I love playing Rocket. I don't get to play him that much, to be honest, but I do love playing him. He's great. He's one of my favorite Marvel characters, right? He's one of the first healers. I think I even lorded, maybe. I think so. I think I lorded him before Invisible Woman even. All that's to say, one of my teammates mains Magneto, and he ulted somebody, and he was like saying how he doesn't know how they didn't die, and then something about the rocket ult maybe protecting them, and then he was like, how much overshield does the rocket amplifier give its allies? And I was like, I don't know. It gives them overshield. He's like, but how much? And this is why, like, I can be good at the game, but I'm not good at the game, you know what I mean? Because I don't know exactly how much healing one dagger does, you know? I was really pissed that I didn't get that cloak cape off. I was literally 5 health here, and I was waiting for my bubble cooldown. So bad, I was worried I was gonna get one hit, but I survived. I was so mad I didn't get that cloak cape off with that Jeff ult. He did it so fast, I like literally didn't even have time to swap, basically. But trust that I've gotten pretty good at avoiding a Jeff ult. Trust. I actually do. In the videos before, I've been avoiding Doctor Strange ults too, even with his like new jump up and everything. So I really love doing that. Can't survive that Venom though. This is when they swapped Venom and Spidey, and this is where like most of my deaths come from actually, because I'm using my kit on one of them just to get killed by the other, or literally getting like ulted on them by them. Like I'm pretty sure, yeah, Spidey comes in right now. I put my bubble down for me and my Luna, and he just solo ults us. And I think at this point